So I know I'm a little late for this, and people have already gotten hands-on to the game. I didn't get a code, and personally I don't have a PC, so I'm just waiting until us console content creators can actually play the game. But these are my first notes that I did write down on my first watch of Marvel Rivals, of actual gameplay, right? And personally, I really like what I'm seeing. I really think that the game is very colorful, which it should be. It does look very entertaining to play. That I've been playing the game, it does look very enjoyable to play. For an alpha, it does look and sound very clean. It sounds very polished for an alpha. Honestly, there are probably a lot of bugs. Like I said, I haven't played the alpha. I didn't have any hands-on with the alpha, but it's very easy to see that it might have a lot of bugs still. But things like that and balancing, I would say it could still be ironed out before release. Again, this is an alpha. It's not the release version of the game, and I feel like this alpha stage is when it should be the most critical, at least. Like critical as in a constructive sense, where we give actual good feedback and not just down on the game and shit on the game, because shitting on the game isn't really gonna do much in this alpha stage except like demotivate and disincentivize the developers, right? So I would say we need to like give a great constructive criticism currently towards the game in order to make the game better when it releases, right? I would say from a visual standpoint, like I mentioned, I do like what the game looks like. It does look very colorful, it does look very bright, the animations look very clean for an alpha, but I still could see a lot of improvement being made in these animations. Kind of like Spider-Man swinging, and I know Spider-Man is like the hardest character to like animate in general, right? Because of how fluid he's supposed to be, but the fluidity of Spider-Man could be improved in future versions of the game. I would say probably the hit effects and more epic music. I feel like the music that I've heard, at least throughout the game, does not feel as epic as I would think an actual Marvel superhero shooter game would have. Like normal Marvel games have very epic music, and during gameplay during the gameplay I saw, at least, I didn't feel that any of the music really stood out to me. And specific gameplay wise, I saw that certain characters had more passives than other characters, and this is again gameplay wise, or balancing wise, I would say. And in the future, I would like more characters to have more concrete like boundaries, right? If certain characters have more passives than others, right, then there's no set limit to how many abilities a character can have for whatever class they're in. And I would like for the classes to all have like the same number of abilities, the same number of passives, stuff like that, so that it actually feels like there's some rules to the game, so that you can kind of expect what a future character in a class would be able to do, right? It also helps us that are theory crafters, or like character people that like building DLC characters or guest characters or stuff like that, or future characters for a game, to have more concrete things to be able to reference to, right? So like 3 passives total for a character, a set number of abilities for every character. And I know that it's probably because it is an alpha, and they probably might be thinking of adding other abilities to these characters. But even the team up abilities, certain characters don't have any team up abilities, and some characters have more than one team up ability with multiple characters. And I feel like the game should have like a set number of team up abilities for every character. Let's say, just like the passives, let's have every character have like 3 passives total, right? 3 team up abilities with different characters of the roster, stuff like this. It's just certain nitpicky stuff that I saw on a first glance that I really want them to add, because certain characters feel like they have so much going for their kid. All the characters feel very bland and boring, and we don't want this for a game that's going to be out for a very long time. So just stuff like this, just making sure every character has every character has the same amount of abilities, the same amount of passes, the same amount of team ups. And then again, I also want the characters to be able to interact with each other during gameplay. I have to re-emphasize that it is an alpha, but I want more characters to be able to talk to each other. Like, half the fun of being able to play these characters is seeing their interactions together. And for this alpha, you don't actually see them interact with each other that much, aside from the voice lines that they have for themselves, right? In next updates, I want to be able to like hear the characters interact with each other, to be able to talk, to be able to quip, to be able to make jokes, to be able to tease each other and stuff like that. Having special dialogues when you take down certain characters as certain characters, or when certain characters team up, stuff like that. It's just some Easter eggy like comic book nonsense that I want into the game. That'll just make it more fun. In my experience, in my opinion, overall, I'm happy for what I've seen. The game does look fun, and hopefully in the next couple of updates we get a console version so that I can actually have some hands-on on the game. And yeah, I guess that's it. Oh, devs, I'm talking to you specifically this time. Change the goddamn Spider-Man costume. It's horrible. I'm gonna make a whole video on this, but yeah, I guess that's all I have to say. Please do all that YouTube stuff. Please like, share, and subscribe, and check out my socials in the description. And yeah, see you next time.